All right, good evening, everybody. This is Calvin Butler with RBBS Property Holdings and Flipstream. Tonight is our regular scheduled Wednesday night training at 7 p.m. I usually get started around by 7:05 to give people a chance to kind of get up and going. But tonight we're going to keep this very brief. As you all know, I put out a challenge before the Labor Day weekend. I put out a challenge that I was going to be attempting to generate 300K in 30 days using Flipstream. And tonight I'm going to give y'all a little bit of an update of where I'm at with that. I started it on the 1st, which was Monday night. I started on Monday night. So to get a clean start, I started on Monday morning. Really Sunday night, Monday morning is when I started. And I started, researching properties, contacting, homeowners, making offers and things like that. All right. So I'm going to give y'all an update on my progress. Let me go ahead and start sharing my screen here. And we're going to give y'all some tips on how to get more people to respond to you. Okay. So I'm going to give y'all an update, and I'm going to give y'all some tips on how to get more people to respond to you when you're reaching out to people. All right. As everybody knows, Flipstream is where we teach people how to do real estate day trading, how to find motivated sellers and get them, to agree to your terms when you're trying to purchase their home and pay off their liens and their attorney fees and still have enough money left in the deal to flip it out to an end buyer and make some pretty good money. So I'm going to go over some of the things that I've been doing and what my progress has been here in the last 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Okay. I have contacted 13. I actually made contact with 13 prospects. Okay. I made contact with 13 prospects. Out of that 13, this is my worksheet right here, the one that I use. Okay. Pull this up. This is my worksheet that I used. All right. As you all can see here, I've actually made contact with 13. Yeah, here are all my submissions right here. So I made contact with 13 properties that I looked up, that I found on PropWire. I looked them up, did the numbers on them, did the skip trace, actually, and 13 of them I actually spoke to. Okay. I looked up about 26. I made contact with 13 of them. Okay. And I have those 13 listed here in my So you can see I have 4 that I made contact with in this one, 3 on this day. I contacted 2 on that one, and I contacted 1 here, 2 there, and 1 there. So I made contact with 13. All right. Now, in the 13 that I made contact with, I've had 2 of them that let me know that they've already taken care of their situation. The home is no longer in foreclosure. They've gotten out of foreclosure. They worked something out with the bank. 2 of those people have already worked something out with the bank, so they're no longer in foreclosure. Another gentleman has already sold his home. He sold his home, got the money he needed to pay off all his liens and stuff and keep the foreclosure off his credit. And I think he said he got about $16,000, $17,000 cash in his pocket. So he was pretty happy with that. It's okay. There's about 8 that I actually made contact with that hadn't done anything yet. Okay. And I actually called them up. I actually made contact with and spoke with them. Out of the 8 that I've contacted, 3 of them have agreed to the terms, is what I offered them. Okay. 3 of them have agreed to the terms of what I offered them. And the other 5 are kind of mulling it around. they're thinking about it. They told me that they would think about it, they would seriously consider it, and they would let me know within a week or 2. Okay. The 3 that have agreed to the terms, all 3 of them are getting their payoffs and what the actual attorney fees are. Okay. So that's where I'm at right now. So let me pull up some of these and show you what I'm talking about. All right. So here's one that I found, 95% equity, $474,000. The equity property is worth 400 and 84,000. They have a loan balance of $9,605. I've contacted her. I actually agreed to I actually got her to agree to getting about $60,000. Okay. So I got her to agree to accept $60,000 in the pocket, paid off all her liens and everything. That's gonna leave me with about $120,000. Okay, because the way I've got it figured here with $20,000 in her pocket, $20,000 to her at a 40% offer. If I only get a 40% offer on this property, I'm gonna be able to, and with $20,000 pocket, that would have been $164,115 that I would make on that deal. She didn't accept the 20,000, so we talked about it a little bit. We negotiated. She settled on 60,000, which is going to leave me about $104,000, roughly about $100,000, because I don't know what her attorney fees are yet. So that's going to leave me about $100,000. Okay, she is getting the exact payoff. She's getting the attorney fees, and she's going to send it over to me hopefully by the end of this week. Okay, so that would be about $100,000 right there that I would make on that deal if we can go in and get those the payoffs in, and I can find a buyer, which I'm pretty confident I'll find a buyer at 40%. Okay, and this is at 40%. Now, if I find a buyer that offers me 50%, I'm going to make a heck of a lot more money. I'm going to make somewhere close to 180, roughly $160,000 if I get it at 50%. If I get a 60% offer, I'm going to make $200,000 on that one deal. So the chances of me hitting my $300,000 goal is looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. And this is just from one deal. And this was a deal that had high equity. The home value was really, really great. You didn't owe a whole lot on it. And so that's what I'm looking at on that particular deal. Go up here, let's go to another one. This other deal. Yeah, Seminole County. Another, kind of good value, $417,000, 74% equity. They owe $106,000 on the property. On this one, I'm not doing as well, but I did get him to agree to the $20,000 in his pocket, which will leave me about $40,143 at a 40% deal. Now, I really expect to get about a 60% or 50 to a 60% off on this deal. So I'll probably wind up making somewhere between the 81 and the 120. Okay. That's what I would probably want. But if I only do get a 40% offer from an end buyer, I'm going to make right at $40,000. Now, I don't know what the actual closing costs. I don't know what the actual attorney fees are. He's getting that for me. We don't have I don't know what the exact payoff is, but the payoff that's listed, it got me holding at $40,000 with him getting $20,000 in his pocket after paying off his liens and his attorney fees. Now, his attorney fees are probably going to come in about $4,000 or $5,000, which is going to drop me down to about $35,000, which is still good. Okay. That's another one that I've got floating out there from, and remember, I just started making these calls on Monday. Well, actually, I take that back. I did my research on Monday, found all these deals on Monday. I started making calls on Tuesday. Started making calls and sending out text messages on Tuesday. And I got in touch with with a few people on Tuesday, and then I got in touch with some people today. So this is the results of what I've come up with. The other person that I've actually got agreed to a contract, $393,000, $322,000 on equity. Payoff 60, had a somewhat moderate payoff. That person did not agree to the $20,000. I actually got her closed at $40,000. Okay, So that's going to be about $20,000 less than you see right there. So it's going to put me down at about $46,000 to $40,000 is what I would take on that. Again, she is getting her exact payoff from the lender, and she is getting, actually, I think she has two lenders, getting a payoff from both her lenders, and she is getting the attorney fees. So at a 40% deal, that would give me about $40,000, $41,000. I'm at a 40% deal, okay? And then, of course, at a 50% deal, which is what I really expect to come in at somewhere between 50 and 60%, I'm going to have considerably, a little bit more than that. So, this deal could very well be an $80,000 to $100,000 deal if I get the right offer from the end buyer. So, but even at the low end of 40%, I'm looking at about $40,000 from the end buyer. Okay. Now, I know a lot of you probably have questions, but Calvin, how are you able to track down these people? Okay. How are you able to get people to actually sign on and you track them down? Right. All right. So I'm going to give you all a little bit of what's called today. All right. Let's say you're looking at a deal like this. I just pulled this one up. This is why I hadn't called on you. But when you go to your owner section, what I started doing with this, I started getting the name of the owner, right? Immediately going to the my skip trace. I immediately go to my skip trace. Okay, let's go to the skip trace. I immediately go to my skip trace, and what I do is I look for, okay, my people search. Here we go. I immediately go to my skip trace. I go to people search. It's in a new tab. I go to my people search. I go ahead and put the person's name in. Let's say this one is Gregory Williams. Okay, I go ahead and take the person's name and I put it in. Now I've already done my numbers, but I go ahead and put the person's name in, and I put in what city are they in. Give me a second here to find it. Using Sanford, Florida. Okay. Come on. I know this is Sanford, Florida. That's not a Sanford, Florida. Hold on here. I know there is a Sanford, Florida. Sanford, Sanford, Florida. Sanford, Sanford, Florida. Ooh, too many. Too many found. But it's putting up people in New York, though. All right. So this one has a lot of people, apparently, that are in Sanford, that are on my skip trace. It's pulling up a lot of people. Close this. All right. Once I got 108 people. That's a lot of people. I'm not gonna look through all those. When I run into something like that, I usually just move on to the next one. I'll probably look at a couple of them, but I'm not gonna kind of go through all these because it's pulling up all the people all over the country when it comes to. Let's try this again. Let's try Gregory L. Williams. Let's try Sanford, Florida again. See if it pulls up this time. It's still on pulling up a Sanford, Indiana, Sanford, New York. It's not pulling up a Sanford, Florida for some reason. Let me just do this. Let's try just putting in Florida. See how many we got in Florida. Still pulling up 109. Pulling up all over the place. Jacksonville, I got Pulaski, I got, it's pulling them up from all over the place for some reason. It's pulling them up from all over the place. All right. So, all right. But what I normally do is this. Once I find them and I find what looks like a cell phone number, I'm not going to do a search on this because that's just too many people. We'll be here all night. Once I find them and I find what looks like a cell phone number, I immediately send them this text. Okay, I will send them a text. And when I send them the text, because most people, they're not going to pick up their phone if they don't recognize the number. Do y'all agree with that? A lot of these people are not picking up the phone because they don't recognize the number. You're going to go to a voicemail. I was getting a lot of calls that were going straight to voicemail. People were not picking up the phone because they didn't recognize the number. And have y'all been running into that? Hello? Is everybody on here? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, that happens all the time.
Okay. All right. So what you want to do is, instead of just making a phone call, make a quick phone call to see if it goes to the voicemail. If it goes to the voicemail, I know it's a working number, right? If it goes to a voicemail, I know it's a working number. So I immediately go and I send them this text. I verify that it's a cell phone number by looking at on the thing. It tells you, if it's a wireless number or a landline, and tell you who was last reported by, AT&T, Sprint, Straight Talk, or whatever case may be. And I will send them this text, okay, which basically says, hello, my name is Calvin Butler with RBBS Property Holdings. I'm LLC, and I put the website address to our property holding site, okay? We like to offer to buy your property, pay off all liens, attorney fees, and put a considerable amount of money in your pocket at closing. This will keep the foreclosure off your credit and give you a considerable amount of cash to move forward. If interested, please contact me I put my phone number and my email address. Now, I have had some pretty good success with that because the people who, when they get it, even though they may not have picked up the phone when I called them, but everybody opens up a text message. I don't know anybody who doesn't get a text message and don't open it up. Do y'all feel that's the case too?
Yeah, they're
Everybody?
looking at text message.
Yeah, they will look at a text message. And when I send it, I create the contact, my phone with their name, and I put our logo of the logo you see here of RBBS, our property holding. I put that on my what's called. So when I text them and they text me back or they call me back, I know exactly who they are. Y'all see that? Y'all see that? Those are all the texts that I sent out over the last 2 days. And they all have our logo on there because when I created my contact, in the person's photo, I put our logo. So when they call back or when they text back, I know exactly what they're calling for. I know who they are because I have them in there with their address and everything. Does everybody see what I'm doing?
Yeah, I can see that. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, so basically what I'm saying is this. You can kind of shortcut this. You can, if you're looking at properties and you're looking at properties that have your criteria there, looking at properties that are all 70% equity, looking at properties that are all pre-foreclosures and all list pendings and all this. So everything you pull up is going to be able to work for you, right? That means everything that you pull up is going to be able to work. Everything on here has 98%, 98%, 98%, because that's what you put in your criteria, right? Just about everything on here is going to work for you. So when you pull up a property, just click on it. You pull up a property, right? I know this is going to work because I'm looking at it. 429,000 on the value, 421,000 on the equity. Is 98% equity. I'm looking at the there's no mortgage, no active mortgage information. I don't know if I would call on this one because if it's in pre-foreclosure and there's no active mortgage, something is out there that I'm not seeing. I'm definitely not going to call on that. Okay, because that's just unheard of. If it's got that and no active mortgage on it, there's something that I'm not seeing. All right. So let's say on this would definitely work. Okay, 98%. It's got a loan balance. There's my loan balance. Okay, the Wachovia Bank. I come down. I check the list pending. Now it does have delinquent taxes. Okay, don't know how much the delinquent taxes are, but that's something that we're gonna have to find out because it says delinquent taxes, tax year 2023. So I guess it'll be that $4,271. So you got to add that in too. Okay, you got to add that in. It isn't list pendants. It was just filed on 6/14/2024. So you know that's a workable deal. All right. So instead of going through the process of structuring the deal out, what you can do is this, especially if you're looking up them just for yourself. Okay, you can go straight to the owner, skip that part off for now, come back to it later. Later on in the day, you know, we have time. But if you want to get a bunch of people, if you want to send out a bunch of text messages to about 15, 20, 30, 40 people a day, this is a quick way to do it. Find your deal, look at it, do a quick glance over of it. Okay, yeah, it's got good equity, 98%. It's got, here's my loan amount. Probably got about $6,000, $7,000 taxes owed on it. And it's in list pendants. It was just filed. So it hasn't gone to auction yet. So I'm gonna go straight to the owner, look up the owner's information. When I look up the owner information, I'm gonna put it in my skip trace. I'm gonna find their cell phone number. I'm probably gonna give it a quick phone call to see if it goes to a voicemail or if someone picks up, great. If they pick up, great. But chances are it's gonna go to a voicemail. I know that it's a working cell phone number. Then I'm immediately gonna do what? Send them that text and save them in my phone as a what? As a prospect. Y'all see what I'm saying? Because doing it that way, you can go ahead and get yourself about 15, 20, maybe even 30 prospective clients. And out of that 30, you may get 15 to 16 good working phone numbers, and you send them all text messages. And then you just wait for them to respond to the text message. If they don't respond in a couple of days, try giving them another call. Does that make sense, everybody?
That does make sense.
Okay. It is a good way to get a good viable list and just shotgun out your text messages to them, right? It's the same text message. I mean, the same text message would apply to everybody. You just send out a text message right here. Hello, my name is with blase, blase, blase. If you're going to use RBBS Holdings, you can use RBBS Holdings and use our website address. There it is right there. Put that in. We'd like to offer to buy your property, pay off all liens, attorney fees, and put a considerable amount of money in your pocket at closing. This would keep the foreclosure off your credit and give you a considerable amount of cash to move forward. If interested, please contact me. My phone number is, or my email is, and you pretty much covered what you need to cover with them, right?
Right.
Okay. They have everything they need to know if they want to work with, if they want to call you back and see what you got to offer, right?
That sounds good. Exactly.
Exactly. So you create you a good list. And that's how I was able to compile my list. And this is how I'm going to be able to, this is the strategy I'm using to try and get to 300K in 30 days. Okay. I just started this list on Monday. I actually looked them up on Monday, called them on Tuesday, or sent the text message and called them on Tuesday. And got about, I got 3 responses back. Well, I got 3 that have agreed to my terms, and I got another 5 that responded back and said, okay, yeah, I'll think about it. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. That was a good one.
That gives you a good working list. Now, today I looked up some more. I haven't sent the texts yet, and today and tonight, after I get up, I'm going to look up about 15 to 20 more. I'm going to have me a list of about 40 texts that I'm going to be sending out tomorrow. I'm going to send out about 40 texts starting tomorrow morning. Right? When I send those texts out, I may get 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 responses back. You see what I'm saying? But your goal is to get a working deal. You know you have a workable deal just from when you go and you put in your criteria, right? You know you got to work. You know all these deals or 90% of these deals are workable deals. Look at all these deals. Workable deals. I got 2,625 results that fit all the criteria that I put in. That's a lot of deals to look at and to get the names of and send out text messages, right? That's a good, that's a good viable list. Everything is from 70% to 98% everything. So that gives you a good viable list. I can pretty much just click on any one of them, and I got a decent list here. Decent list of deals. They owe $14,000 on the property. Property's worth $378,000. It's got an estimated equity of $364. They owe $14,008 on it. Roll down here. There are no delinquent taxes. Roll down here. It is in list pendants. List pendants was just filed 8/8/2024. Workable deal. Now all I gotta do is do what? Find the owner.
File them and check.
Look them up. Get that cell phone number. Call and text. Right?
Right. I like
That's
that
the
idea
way.
of texting.
That is a good speed way of doing it, of getting yourself a lot of names, a lot of viable deals, and sending your texts out and getting people to know that, hey, this person is interested in buying my house. They're willing to pay off all my liens. They're willing to pay off my attorney fees and whatever taxes I owe, and they're willing to put some money in my pocket. They don't know how much yet, but I'm willing to put money in the pocket. Now, once I send those taxes out, then I go back and I work the deals to see how much money I will actually be able to offer. On all of these, I can probably offer more than $20,000. Anything that has more than 85% equity, I can offer a lot more than $20,000. You understand what I'm saying? Like in one case, I'm offering this one lady, close to $100,000. I'm still gonna make $60,000. So
Yeah, that's pretty good.
yeah. So find your deals, set them up, then go ahead and get those names, run those, and get those numbers, and just send out those texts. Okay? Send those texts out. That's a good, quick way of finding deals. Now, the other thing I want to cover is this. Some of you all who are looking in areas that don't have list pendants. Okay? There'll be some people that have sent me some stuff saying, Calvin, I'm looking in Illinois or just wherever. Let me go ahead and pull it up here. Some places don't have list pendants. They have notice of default. Okay? Now, notice of default is something different. That means that they don't have a list pendant process. Okay? The states I know that have list pendants is Florida, California, I think New York, Alabama, and there's a bunch of others, but there's some states in and around that does not have list pendants. Like if you go up here to, I think it was Michigan. I think the guy told me was he in Michigan? Somebody, hold on, let me check my Wix messages. Someone sent me something through Wix and was telling me that. Let me check my Wix messages. Give me a second here. Let me check my site messages. Check my Flipstream site messages. Flipstream. See if I can find that state that it was telling me about. Got a bunch of messages through Flipstream. Someone was telling me that they was having problems. All right, messaging. Here we go, right here. Messages. All right, let's check my site messages. All right, think of this person right here. All right, I think with this person. Yeah, it was this person right here. All right. Let's see here. Arkansas. That's where he was. He was in Arkansas. He was saying that he sent me a message saying, I just tried Arkansas and Mississippi. Okay. They narrowed down to 26, and then when they hit notice of default or list pendants, it went to 0. All right. So let's go to Arkansas and Mississippi. All right, and see what the problem is. All right. So if you're looking in Arkansas, okay, Arkansas does not have list pendants. Okay. And remember, some states don't have a whole lot of foreclosures. Just some states don't have a whole lot of foreclosures. Okay. Arkansas's got a lot of off-market properties, 1.4 million, right? We're still looking at the lien type. So if I put in, if I'm in Arkansas and I put in pre-foreclosures, it's going to drop it down to about, all right, 228 results. Okay. And then if I put in high equity, it's going to drop it down to about the same, 221. I go to property types, I go to single family housing, it's going to put in 116. If I go to home values, I put estimated value up to, I'm going to say 500,000. Go up 112. Then I go over here to my more section. Now this is where it becomes a problem. When you go over here to your more section, you're looking at your owner filters. We're going to click the individual owner. It's going to drop it down to 108. Then I click on my financial filters. I want to look at stuff that has at least 70% equity, no less than 70% on the equity side. And take it off 100 down to about 98. Save and close. See what it comes up. Now down to 27 results. See, it's very skim pickings when you get down like that. Then when you go down to the foreclosure, all right, here's the problem. Arkansas, I do not believe, has what's called list pendings or notice of default. I think they have notice of trustee sale. That's what they have. If I put in list pendings, look what happens. 0. Y'all see what happened? 0. So they don't have list pendings. Okay? So let's take off the list pendants. Let's change it to, let's take off, hold on, the list pendants. Let's change it to notice of default. I don't think they have that either. Okay? Watch what happens. 0. Okay, still 0. All right? So let's click off of that, notice of default, and let's go to notice of trustee. Notice of trustee, let's see what happens then. Now, you see what I mean? They have notice of trustee sale. Some states don't have list pendants or notice of defaults. They have notice of trustee. So in other words, there's not a list pendants or notice of default stage. They go straight to trustee sale. This is what I mean by some states have expedited foreclosure process. Does everybody know what I mean? Everybody see what I mean by that now? When I say some states have an expedited foreclosure process, they don't have a list pending stage or notice of default stage. Okay?
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I see that.
Yeah, all right. With these states, once you miss so many payments, they send you straight to a trust. They send it straight to the judge, and the judge orders a trustee sale. Okay, they don't give you that, year to a year and 4 months of list pendants before they file. You don't get that time. Okay, Florida, Alabama, California, there's a bunch of other states that does have it. Illinois, Michigan, places like that. But some of these other states, like Arkansas, Mississippi, and some of these other states, when you start running that, go straight to the the notice of default. Now the problem, but not notice, but the trustee sale. Now, what you want to do now is you want to put in a date on this, because if the notice of trustee, if they've already got it gone to an auction or going to an auction, then that's not going to help you, right? So I'm gonna put in, I wanna say, let's just put in September, October, let's just say August. Let me try something here. August 1st to whenever. Save and close, see what I get. All right, I got 9. Now I'm gonna click over because these are already listed for auction. Any notice of trustee is already gonna be scheduled for an auction. So I want to go down here and see when the auction date is. That's what I'm looking for. All right, document recording was 8/18/2024. The auction date is 9/4/2024, which that's like, you know, that's coming up soon, or that was today, right? Ain't the day before?
Yeah, it is.
So the auction date on that was today. All right, so let's try something else. Let's try foreclosure filter, and let's do an auction date for, let's do a notice date of September. Well, it won't do September. Like September. I wonder if it'll give me a notice date out. Let's like out further, like December or November. Let me try that. Let me try that. Let's see what happens if I do that. Nothing. It's not gonna pull up anything on that. All right. So you've got to put in the auction. You got to put in the notice date. It's got to be like the month you're in. September the 1st. Let's see what happens here. Nothing. All right. Basically, you got to look for those auction dates that are further out. That's what you got to look for. So I'm going to put in notice date of, I'm trying to be a little creative here. I'm going to put a notice date of, I'm going to say March of this year. And I'm going to put in an auction date. Let's put in auction. Let's put in an auction date of September, October, November. I'm going to put auction date all the way out to November. I'm going to say November the 13th. Save. Now let's see what happens. Nothing. All right. So when y'all are dealing with these, so when you're dealing with these states that don't have a list pendants, or they only have the notice of trustee sales. I wonder, do they have a notice of foreclosure? Let's try that. Let's try a notice of foreclosure. And let's say the notice of foreclosure, let's go back to 2023. Let's see if they get, I'm sorry. Let's see if they give me a notice of foreclosure. Ooh, no, I don't want to go to 1969. We go to 2023, notice of foreclosure. Let's say it's in December 1st. Now let's see what happens. Nothing still. I might have too many filters in here. Notice of foreclosure. Let's take the auction date out. How do I clear that? Reset filters. Give me a second. All right, so 118. Let's go to the foreclosure filter. And let's go to notice type. See if we got a notice of foreclosure. And let's put a notice of foreclosure date in of 2023, December. From that date until now. And now let's see what we got. Still nothing. All right. So in these states that have they don't have a notice of default, they don't have a notice of, they don't have a list pending, they only have a notice of trustee. That's all they're gonna have. It's a notice of trustee. So those states are only gonna have a notice of trustee. And that's the only time you're gonna get results. But the problem is you gotta see when the auction date is and if it's been auctioned off already. And that's the problem you gotta run into. Like on this one right here. The auction was 7/17/2024. You're gonna have problems finding leads in these states unless the auction is at least 2 to 3 months out. Okay. So when you run into these states that don't have a list pending and don't have a notice of default, I wouldn't waste my time with them. I wouldn't waste my time in those states that don't have a notice of list pending and a notice of default. Okay. Now, how do you know which states have those? Well, you just got to go through them and see. Okay. We know Florida has list pendants. We know California has list pendants. We know New York has list pendants. If I put in New York has plenty of list pendants. We know New York has list pendants.
So are you saying it's better to go after those states with the no list pendants than
no, it's better to go after states that have list pendants and notice of defaults.
Okay.
Okay. Stay away from the states that don't have those.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because see, if I go and I put in notice of list pendants in New York, what do I get? I got plenty of them. I got 36,000 list pendants in New York. You see what I'm saying? So we know New York has it. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So when you're checking your states you haven't been in yet, instead of going through all this other stuff first, put in the state, then go over to your more section, go to your foreclosure stuff, and click list pendants, see if it has list pendants. And once you see it has list pendants, then you go back and you put in your other stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you can go back and put in your pre-foreclosure. That way you don't waste time looking at a state that doesn't have it. Right?
Right.
Now you can kind of go through here and do your thing now. The high equity, pull it up. It's got list pendants that are high equity, more than 7,000 of them. See, now you got a workable state. Single family homes, put that in. You got what? Let me say, you got over 5,000 of them. Price range. New York is a pretty, high price state. On the value, I go all the way up to about 800, 900,000 in New York. You could probably go up to 1.5 million up in New York, but they got homes that are up to 900,000, more than 4,400 of them. See what I'm saying? Then you go to your then you can put in your financial filter now, slide that over to 70%. Take it off that 100. And now you got almost right at 2,000 workable deals. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And you
just have to filter it down.
Yeah, and you didn't waste your time looking at a state that does not have list pendants or notice of default. So once you put in your state, then you go over to your financial, to your more section, drop down onto your foreclosure, put in list pendants, and see first if that state even has list pendants.
Okay.
You get me?
Mm-hmm.
If it doesn't have list pendants, try notice of default. Notice of default and list pendants kind of work the same way. But if it don't have either one of those, I wouldn't waste my time with it. because those are states that are expedited. They have an expedited process.
Okay.
They don't give you that they don't give the homeowner that grace period to make some things happen. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's really all I have for y'all tonight. I want to show you all how to jumpstart your list and get people to call you instead of you calling them all the time. You know, create your list, shoot them a text message. Or people, if they don't pick up their phone, everybody opens a text message. I don't know anybody that don't get a text, ding, and they don't open it up. I get text messages all the time from like, oh, your next payment is coming up on such. Your, your internet.
So let me ask you this,
true.
because let me ask you this, Calvin, because before, they were talking about how, people were sending out these texts and people were getting into trouble. So like certain people had their numbers like on the do not call list, so you weren't able to text them. So how would you handle that
if
situation?
they're on a do not call list, then their number wouldn't be showing up.
Okay, it wouldn't show up.
Yeah.
Even on the True People search, is that still true? That their number wouldn't show up there, or
send them a text, man. Send them a text.
Just send a text.
Seriously.
Okay.
I don't think he's gonna get it. I'm gonna sue you.
Oh yeah, I got one of those before. I got several of those.
Yeah, but seriously though, that's why text is much better than a phone call, sometimes, because then if they get a text and if they're interested, they'll just text you back. Yeah, I'm interested. I've had some people text me back and tell me, well, I've already sold it. One guy just texted me. One guy, he texted me back and said no. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. Earlier, I know you said that we should put the website of your company in. Yeah. Are we able to get a business email from you, or should we use just our personal email?
No, you just use your personal email.
This is personal.
Because if you're selling to us, then they're going to be emailing us. And I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to take the time to try and figure out who these things are coming from, try to track you down. So put in your phone number and your email address. Okay. You can put our website in so they'll know what company it is. Now, if you have your own, if you create your own company like Tabitha and a couple of other people already have, like Miss Collins or Miss Cook has her own company, Tabitha has her own company, they would use their own company, email, website, whatever. Okay. But if you don't, you can use our company. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's see here. This is for our people out there who are on the edge, who looked at some of our stuff and said, well, I'm waiting to sign up. Okay, well, I'm about to let you know something. This $19.99 ends on the 8th. If you've been looking at our platform or thinking about, signing up, wanting to do this, $19.99 per month ends on the 8th. It will be $79 per month. Let me repeat that. The $19.99 per month ends on the 8th. If you don't get in by the 8th, you're not going to be able to get the $19.99 per month. Okay? Plain and simple. We've had this open out for about 2 months now. Going on 3. So that's enough time. If you're not in by the 8th of this month, it's going to be $79 a month. Another thing that that has happened, the $2,500 lifetime membership, will be a much better deal than the $79 per month, because you can reach $2,500 in less than 12 months. Now you can do the $2,500, and we've been approved to go through a firm. So anybody that wants to do the lifetime membership, you can click the affirm and you can finance it through a firm now. Okay, there it is. Put it in. You hit the buy now, and then it'll go to a firm, and if a firm approves you, they'll set you up on a payment plan, anywhere from 6 months. I think they got a 6 month plan all the way up to a 3-year plan. Okay. So now you can get the lifetime membership, go through a firm, and pay through a firm, pay monthly payments to a firm. Okay. That is a much better deal than the $79 per month. So $79 a month, you're going to be $2,500 in what time frame? Let's say 2,500 divided by 79. In 31 months, you're going to be, past that 2,500.
So almost 3 years.
Yeah, about 2.5 years. When you get the 2,500 and just have a lifetime. You never have to worry about a monthly payment. If you finance through a firm on a 12-month financing deal or a 24-month financing deal, you still got a much better deal, and you got a lifetime membership. You never have to worry about paying us ever again. You see what I'm saying? So that's what we're going to. All right. We've given people enough time to kind of look at this, and it's been out there for a minute. We got all kinds of videos out on YouTube. We got all kinds of videos out on our channel, on our Facebook page. We record every freaking thing. Do we not? It's not like we're holding anything back. We are so transparent. Everything's been put out there. So there's enough information out there for everybody to know what this is, know what this is about. In the 1999 month, that was like an introductory thing that we were just doing, trying to get people on, and giving them a break. And those of you who took advantage of it, hey, you got in good. Locked in at $19.99 per month. Now, I do want to tell y'all this: if you're already locked in at $19.99 per month, and if some of you all are letting your membership expire and then you just repurchase it again, it's going to become a problem if you let your membership expire after the $19.99 per month is gone. Did everybody see what I'm saying?
That's
so you really need to contact you really need to contact your bank and let them know that this is a reoccurring charge and it needs to be approved each and every month. Okay? Because if you let it expire and then you go back to try and repurchase again, well, you ain't gonna have the $19.99, it's gonna be $79 a month. You see what I'm saying? So the $19.99 would no longer be valid. So that's why you need to contact your bank and let them know that, hey, instead of not approving this each month, just let this go through. That way I don't have to re-sign up for the higher price.
And just make sure that you update your credit cards.
Exactly. Make sure your card is updated so it goes through when it's time for it to go through. Because a lot of you all are letting it expire, and then I noticed that you all will let it expire, and then the next day you'll be purchasing it again. Well, that's not gonna be, you're not gonna be able to do that once we do away with the $19.99 per month. I'm just giving you all a heads up. Okay?
Okay.
Unless you decide to go into, well, I'm just gonna go in and get $2,500, and just do that, and then you got a lifetime membership. But either way, if you got $19.99 a month, 66 cents a day, don't let it expire. Just if that's what you want to keep, that low rate, just make sure that your card is good so that it'll go through each month. Makes sense?
Yeah, it sure does.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Look, everybody. I appreciate y'all doing it. This is recorded for those of you who came in late. You'll be able to look at it. It'll be up, I think, before the night ends, because I'm keeping it kind of short tonight, so it shouldn't take very long for it to download. Take about an hour or two. Then it'll be on Facebook and it'll be on our YouTube channel. But yeah, I am right now. I am in the first stage of my challenge, 300K in 30 days. I've contacted like 13 prospects. 8 of them responded. 2 of them have agreed to my terms. On those 2, if we found a buyer for those contracts at 40%, one of them I'm looking at close to 100,000, even at 40%. The other one I'm looking at about 40,000. So that's I'm halfway there. That would put me halfway there, literally.
So are you saying we should join this well, not join your specific challenge, but we
But
should
create
set a goal for
yeah, just set a
ourselves
goal
and
and create your own
this
challenge
is
and
what
then
we're
just
gonna
go.
do. And if you don't do it this month, then you got to do it next month.
Yeah, just set yourself a challenge and then just go for it.
Okay.
I started calling. I started my challenge on. I put the challenge out there on Sunday night. Started calling Monday morning. I started doing not calling. I started doing my research Monday morning. Got me about 30 to 40 things, properties
Okay.
that will work.
So
I
heard you.
And then I started doing my skip tracing. Out of that 30 to 40 of them, I was able to locate about 17, 20 of them or somewhere around there. Out of that 17, 20, I actually got 13 good phone numbers where all of them they either answered or went to voicemail, but they were all good phone numbers. Well, just about all of them went to voicemail, except for one or two that I actually got on the phone. Well, but and when I got those voicemails, I immediately sent them out those texts. And then some people text me back and said, "Hey, we've already settled this with the bank." One person said that. One person texted back and said, I've already sold it." One person texted back and said, "No." One and then I had about 8 people that actually called me. Out of the 7 or 8 that actually called me, 2 of them agreed to the terms. Well, not the original terms, but we worked out the terms and got an actual offer. Agreed to. They're now getting their payoff and their attorney fees so they can get those over to us so we can get their contracts out. And on those 2, we're looking at about $140,000.
Okay. I think I'm going to set myself on a
You see what I'm saying?
$300,000 challenge.
I got about
Right, me too. That sounds good.
Yeah, and I got 5 others I'm out there saying that we'll think about it because they just really just got their notice for their notice of this pending like last month or just like last month or last week or something like that. So they still got time. You see what I'm saying? They haven't really thought about what they're gonna do yet. And they're in Florida, so they got about another year. You see what I'm saying? I'm just trying to get to them early. You know what I mean?
So doing your research, you're just getting your skip tracing out. And are you also sending them emails as well?
No, I'm just sending texts. I'm just sending texts to start out with.
Just text.
Because look, people get drunk. If you send emails, you never sent them an email before, it's not gonna take to the junk. I know people who never check their junk mail. They just automatically empty junk mail. Right?
Right.
But I don't know anybody who does not open up a text. Right?
Right. That's true.
People will ignore a phone ringing, but they will not ignore that text.
They're gonna look at it. That's
exactly.
Did you mention how far back?
And it says, "I would like to make an offer to buy your home and pay off all your liens and your attorney fees and taxes and put a considerable amount of money in your pocket, get the foreclosure off your credit."
I will open it up.
Yeah, they're gonna say, "Oh, let me check this out." Right? So send the text.
And that's all you do. So let me ask this question, because this is what I have been doing and why I'm so far. I don't know if I'm far behind or what I'm doing. So I would pull the list and I would skip trace. And you know how on some of the names they may have 5 or 6 different numbers. So are you calling the number first, or you just sending the text to all of those numbers?
I'm looking for this. I'm looking for where it says wireless, and I'm looking for where it says the last time it was verified was like this month or last month.
Right.
That's what I'm looking for.
Okay, so that's what I need to start doing.
Yeah. If it's got on there, the last time it was verified was 2021, I probably won't even call it. Because if it ain't, because the bill has been paid since 2021, guess what? That's not.
It's going into foreclosure.
Right. So I'm looking for the ones that have last verified number, 2024.
Within the past 90 days.
Within the past 90 days. whether it's a landline or a cell phone. If it was a wireless phone, I'm putting it in my phone, creating the contact, you know, and then sending them the text. If it was a landline, I'm definitely calling. Unless you have a service where you can text to landlines and it will leave a voice message for them. But then that's like 25 cents a call, I think.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right, look, everybody, that's gonna do it for tonight. I gotta finish doing some. I gotta do some more lookups. I'm gonna try to look over about another 40 or 50 prospects tonight. If I do that, that would give me a total of about 65 to 70 that I could track down tomorrow and send texts to. So that's my mission.
Are you just looking in your own state?
I'm starting out in my own. I'm starting out in Florida, but I'm gonna be also doing some in California. This week I'm doing Florida. Next week I'm doing probably California. Then I'm gonna do New York. Then I'm gonna do Alabama. Then I'm gonna, I'm just gonna, kind of focus on one state at a time. Give me a good grouping of them, then go to the next one. Then go to the next one. Go to the next one.
Okay.
All right.
All right,
everybody.
thank you.
No problem. All right. I thank you all. I appreciate everybody for joining us here tonight. If you missed the first part of this, it is recorded. It is, you'll be able to go back and put it up on our Facebook page and on our YouTube channel, Flip-Stream Live. And so I'll definitely see you all back here next Wednesday.
All right. Thank you, sir.
You have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
Bye-bye.